Would you allow Bible studies to continue in the jail as they are now?
Currently, if Bible studies being held in the jails, you know, nobody has to go to these Bible studies. If somebody's requesting it, I don't see the issue with it. If they want a Bible study or read the Bible, have a minister come in, talk to them while they're in jail, I don't see the issue with it. As long as they're not forcing their beliefs onto the other people that are being housed in the jail or the jail staff. If they're in a private room, I don't see the issue with it.
I, of course, would allow Bible studies in the jail. I would also open the jail and have the jail open to anybody's study of whatever they would believe in. We live in cultures that right now that have multiple beliefs. I have my own beliefs. I do believe in God. I don't think that I should stop somebody else from believing in what they believe in also.
I also believe that we should continue the Bible study in jail. I don't see a problem with that as long as it's not a safety issue. It never has been. And I think it's a good tool in jail. It can possibly reach out, help somebody out, and turn somebody around. That's what it's there for. It's a good program, and I would definitely keep it in the jail.
Absolutely. In fact, I started our chaplaincy program in the Washburn County Sheriff's Office. It isn't just a jail, but it's the Sheriff's Office. I modeled it after Russ County, and we were looking for pastors and lay people from all denominations to be a part of our chaplaincy program, which provides for Bible study. I believe it's Sunday afternoon, and they have Bible study during the week, and there's one-on-one visits with clergy if they want. I've always offered inmates in the jail who need to seek help from somebody they think they need to seek help from, and a lot of that time comes from clergy. And it is that, and it's very, very true. They have been extremely beneficial. They've made impact into our inmates' lives. We can tell you there's several, if there's chaplains here tonight, if you look them up later on, there's a lot of success stories about our inmates that are not coming back now because of the chaplaincy program. And they do more than just that. They work with the inmates when they leave, if they wish. Nobody, and I don't know who mentioned it, but nobody is forced to do anything in the jail. Well, take that back. You might be forced to do some things if you're not behaving, but as far as the church and the chaplaincy program, it's an offer. It's there. And a lot of them take them up on it. And it's very good. I actually believe this needs to continue. In fact, we're looking at ways to expand that program.
Have you ever been resigned, or have you ever been terminated from a law enforcement agency? And what was the circumstances? Matt, I'll start with you.
Yes, when I started my career, I started in Shell Lake. My ultimate goal was to be a state trooper. I worked in Shell Lake for 6 years, took the test a couple times before I was hired. Actually, the last year, well, before I was hired, I resigned from Shell Lake to go on to the Sheriff's Department. I felt it would better prepare me for my job as a state trooper, get out of the city of Shell Lake, expand my horizons. After working the State Patrol for a little over 3.5 years, I made a decision to resign there due to my wife having some health issues. And we had 3 young children that I had to put them first, and that it was them or the job, and they were who took priority. I did come back and work at the Sheriff's Department about 1.5 years later. And after about a year, I was asked to resign there. I guess Sheriff Dryden didn't feel I was fit to do the jail job.
No, I've never been terminated. In the early 80s, when I started working for the Shell Lake Police Department, Ralph Van Meter, then chief, asked if I would do that. I was working for the school district at the time, and he thought that'd be a good fit. And then I worked for Shell Lake part-time, Spooner part-time, Birchwood once in a while, and Minot. And then in 1990, when I decided to run for Spooner, I don't know if I mentioned Spooner, did I? All right. When I decided to run for sheriff, that was the time to, if you want to say Resigned? Yeah, I said, okay guys, I can't do all that and be sheriff too, so I'm going to run for sheriff, and if I get it, you don't have a patrol officer anymore.
I resigned from the Hayward Police Department. The reason I resigned from the Hayward Police Department, I was offered a full-time position for the Village of Minong. I resigned from the Village of Minong Police Department for a full-time position in Spooner. I'm still on the roster up there in Minong. And I resigned from my part-time position with the Sheriff's Department and their Special Response Team to spend more time with my family.
I resigned from the Wright County Sheriff's Department. The history was, as an investigator, we had 6 people assigned to investigations. My lieutenant was running for sheriff in Wright County. The whole investigation department supported that sheriff, the lieutenant who was running against the current sheriff. Lesson learned, if you're in the sheriff's department, don't run and don't support anybody, whether it be the sheriff or anyone else within the sheriff's department. After that election, 3 investigators immediately resigned and retired. My sergeant, who was working above me, resigned and retired, came to me and said, you better watch out, you got a target on your back too. At that time, I went into the sheriff and I asked the sheriff to please put me back out on the road. I felt I'd do a good job on the road again after 6 years as an investigator. He looked at me and said, you've got too much time and training invested in you, you're never going to see the road again. At that time, I went home and talked to my wife. I said, I think it's time to turn to my 2-week notice. I retired, officially retired from the state of Minnesota. I left that position and 3 months later was hired in the town of Webb Lake. When I retired from that position, the reason I retired from that position is because I have enough years of service to pay to my pension in the state of Minnesota. I did not need to stay in a sheriff's department that was going to cause a problem, because when your sergeant says to you, you have a target on your back, he's telling you the truth, especially when he resigns and leaves at the same time. So I'm going to have to say yes to your question.